on update number 3 for WCW 2K25 Universe Mode. What's up, guys? Chris here. And yeah, it's update number 3. Today we're taking a look at the updated calendar. Someone gave me that idea to update the calendar with the pay-per-views or the PLEs. So yeah, I went ahead and did that recently off screen, but I'm going to show you the updates that I did make. So yeah, I just pretty much added all of the WCW Classic pay-per-views. Today they're called PLE, Premium Live Events, but back in the day they were called pay-per-views because we had to pay a lot, 99, over 50 bucks to watch these things on a Sunday. Yeah, so the pay-per-views, of course, they're going to be on Sunday, not on Saturday like they are these days, but yes, they're on Sunday. So the calendar begins in May. We're going to have the first pay-per-view, the last Sunday. All of the pay-per-views, by the way, they are going to take place on the last Sunday of every month. So for May, we've got the first pay-per-view. It's going to be Slamboree. That's the first pay-per-view going on in my 2K25 Universe mode. And yeah, that's what's going to kick things off PLE-wise for me in my Universe mode here. That's for May. Then comes June, and we have Bash at the Beach, as was customary for World Championship Wrestling. The Bash at the Beach pay-per-view always took place in June. Very summer weather, very hot, sunny, beautiful weather. And yeah, it's gonna take place on a beach setting, supposedly. I don't know if we can do that in the game, but we'll try. So Bash at the Beach in June. In July, we've got the Great American Bash. That coincides with the 4th of July, but of course the 4th of July would have been somewhere around up here. But the Great American Bash will be at the end of July, unless maybe I can add it. Sorry, I still had NXT Great American Bash, those biters ripoffs. Unless I can add Great American Bash to the forefront of the July calendar, maybe I'll do that. Who knows? We'll see. For August, we're gonna have Road Wild. First they were called Hog Wild, and then it became Road Wild. The last years of WCW, or in August of 2000, they had New Blood Rising in August. Bet you don't remember that, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do Road Wild for August. In September, Fall Brawl, because of course fall comes around in September. Fall Brawl, the War Games, is gonna take place last month of September. October, of course, Halloween Havoc, coinciding with Halloween. November, we have World War III. For those of you who don't know, World War III was like the Royal Rumble for WCW, except it had 3 rings. So where WWE had 30 men in 1 ring, WCW had 60 men in 3 rings. So imagine that. So that's 20, 40, 60, 20 men in each ring. Craziness. We can't do that in the game, but I'm going to find a workaround to show you guys how I can make that work somehow. I promise you I'll try to make that work. In December, we have Starrcade, the granddaddy of them all. Starrcade, for those of you who don't know, was the WrestleMania for WCW, and it took place in December. So yep, last week of December, we're going to have Starrcade. January, start things off again. I made Clash of the Champions for my January pay-per-view. Usually it was sold out, or for 2001 it was Sin, WCW Sin, but for me I just want Clash of the Champions in January. February we're going to do Super Brawl, as was customary for reals in World Championship Wrestling. So Super Brawl will take place in February. And March we've got WCW Uncensored. And last but certainly not least, April, Spring Stampede. That's when spring springs around. So Spring Stampede is going to happen in April. So those are all my pay-per-views for my WCW 2K25 Universe mode. Thank you to the viewer who reminded me to show the pay-per-views or the PLEs. Glad you did. Thank you for that. So I was able to show that to you guys. And now we're going to move on to the tag teams. So last time I showed you guys the tag teams. I didn't have anyone there because I hadn't unlocked a lot of people and I hadn't downloaded a bunch of people, but now I do. So far in my WCW Universe mode, tag teams, I've got the Boogie Knights, Alex Wright and Disco Inferno, former tag team champs. The Dudley Boys, yeah, so they're not in my Universe mode, but they were WCW World Tag Team Champions when WWE purchased them. So I just kept them here. I deleted everyone else who was a tag team in like the real life 2K game, but I kept them because they may may make an appearance in my universe mode. I don't know that for sure just yet, but it would be fun to have them compete in my universe mode. Stay tuned for that. Then we've got the Filthy Animals. So we've got Rey Mysterio, Billy Kidman, Conan, Eddie Guerrero, and Tori Wilson as the Filthy Animals. The tag team here, of course, is Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio, who were WCW World Tag Team Champs, and they were even the WCW Cruiserweight Tag Team Champs, which was pretty cool. So they're still affiliated with Conan and Eddie Guerrero and Tori Wilson. Tori Wilson will be the valet for Billy Kidman in game. We've got the Four Horsemen. So I usually do the version with Flair, Anderson, Mongo, Benoit, and Malenko, but this year I'm gonna do Flair, Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and Barry Windham as the Four Horsemen. The tag team here are going to be the Brainbusters, Tully and Arn Anderson. Going to have a lot of fun with that. And look at those models. They look pretty cool. Whoever made these in Community Creations, great job. Thank you for making them. I'm glad you did. I'm glad I have them. Up next, we've got Harlem Heat. So that Booker T, he's from Community Creations as well. He's not the in-game Booker T, but that's pretty cool. So I got him and Stevie Ray from Community Creations, and they're going to be my Harlem Heat. The Hart Foundation, this was already done in-game. It's the Hitman, Bulldog, and Neidhart. Neidhart and Hitman are the tag team, and Bulldog is just tagging along as the brother-in-law. Then we've got the Head Shrinkers, who last time when you guys watched, I hadn't unlocked them just yet, but now finally I did. It was a pain in the butt. I got a 2-for-1 combo there. I unlocked them and the Steiner Brothers in the showcase mode. That was a pain in the neck, but yeah, finally got Fatu and Samu, the Head Shrinkers, who competed in WCW briefly. And yeah, we're gonna have them in my universe mode because they did compete in WCW for reals. We've got Chronic, Brian Adams, and Brian Clark. They're gonna break necks and cash checks just like they used to do in real life. And then we've got Los Guerreros, which are Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero with his first original WCW attire. And so the cool thing here is that this year in this year's game, you can have someone in 2 stables at once, which is pretty cool. Last year you couldn't do that. So we've got Eddie Guerrero in Los Guerreros. He's teaming up with Chavo, and then he's still with the Filthy Animals. So he's gonna get cheered with the Filthy Animals, but then when he teams with Chavo, he's gonna be a heel. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I'm gonna make it work. So he's got 2 affiliations. Chavo is not affiliated with the Filthy Animals, but Eddie is, so that's gonna be cool. Then we've got the Midnight Express, beautiful Bobby Eaton and sweet Stan Lane. They're gonna cause some havoc here in the tag division too. They were from Community Creations. And yes, whoever made them did a wonderful job. Thank you for making them. It's pretty cool. I love these creations here. And we've got the Nasty Boys, Brian Knobbs, Jerry Sags. Yeah, former World Tag Team Champs. I got them from Community Creations as well, so we're going to have some fun with them. The New World Order already in the game. We've got Hogan, Hall and Nash. Hall and Nash, the Outsiders, are going to be the tag team. And they're accompanied by Six and Eric Bischoff, the manager. And then finally, we've got Scott Steiner and Rick Steiner, the Steiner brothers. So these are their throwback 90s looks. I still haven't unlocked like Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner just yet, so I do intend to use Big Papa Pump in my universe mode, but for now, this version of Scotty Steiner is gonna have to do with the Steiner brothers in my universe mode in the tag team division. So this is who I've added so far, and now let's go ahead and add some other teams right now. Let's do it together on screen. All right, so who are we adding next? My bad. All right, so the next team off the top of my head, it's going to be, I usually make Benoit and Malenko a team. I'm gonna hold off on that for right now. But the next team that I am seeing is gonna be Chris Candido as a tag team, and his tag team partner is gonna be the Beast from the East, Bam Bam Bigelow, and they are gonna join forces with the franchise, Shane Douglas, and we have the Triple Threat. Alright, so they became super duper popular in ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling. They had like a little brief stint in WCW, didn't really go anywhere, but yeah, let's just recreate that. I always do that for my universe modes in WCW, so let's just go ahead and do that. They're gonna get booed. No Francine here, but maybe if I find Tammy Lynn Sitch or Sunny, then she can be their valet. So yeah, Candido and Bam Bam are the tag team, and the franchise, Shane Douglas, is the leader of the group, single star. Next up, we are going to add what other team? Moving along in order. So next up, I see Chris Canyon, and he's gonna team up with his best buddy, Diamond Dallas Page. So he's not going to be in custom superstars because he's not a custom superstar. He's actually in the game. Where are you, DDP? Here you are, DDP 98. So DDP and Chris Canyon are going to be a tag team, just like they were in real life. They are former WCW World Tag Team Champs, and yes, even WWF World Tag Team Champs. Putting them back together. In WCW, they were part of the Jersey Triad with Bam Bam Bigelow as the third member, but Bam Bam's busy in my universe mode. He's teaming with the Triple Threat. I think they were a more iconic trio compared to the Jersey Triad, so yeah, I'll just leave things the way they are. DDP is going to team with Canyon. I always put them together. I love that team anyway. No, not disband. Do not disband them. Next up, who will we be adding as a team? So Dan Spivey, I'm going to put him together with The Undertaker or Mark Calloway whenever I get a Mark Calloway community creations. My bad. Ooh, brain fart there. I'm going to do Earthquake and Typhoon. So they both competed in WCW, not under the Earthquake and Typhoon personas. They were, however, in WWE as the Natural Disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon. Excuse me, I'm gonna make them no, wait a minute. No. Okay, so actually what I am going to do, so Earthquake, I'm actually gonna put him in the Dungeon of Doom. All right. Sorry for the dramatics, but yeah. So the leader of the Dungeon of Doom, Kevin Sullivan, tag team. He's gonna be tag teamed up with the Giant. Where are you, Giant fella? Passed him, didn't I? I did. So the Giant, that's the tag team right there. And then part of the Dungeon of Doom in my universe mode, we are going to have real life former Dungeon of Doom dudes. So that is going to include the one-man gang. It's also going to include Earthquake, who competed in WCW as Shark. Not Earthquake, definitely. And then Hugh Morris, the laughing man, humorous. When he hits that moonsault, it's going to be no laughing matter. So a lot of big dudes here in the Dungeon of Doom. And yeah, whoever goes up against them is going to be in for Doom. Get that? Get it? Let's see if they even have the team announced here. They should. That was a very... No, they don't. Look at that. That's crazy. Dungeon of Doom was like... Do they have it? Nope. No Dungeon of Doom. Call them Doom or the Doom Brigade. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Alright, so the Dungeon of Doom, and they will be led by Jimmy Hart. Can you even add another member to it? Let me see. The Dungeon of Doom. Crowd reaction, boo. No, you can't add anyone else. But yeah, I like that Dungeon of Doom the way it is. So Earthquake and Typhoon will not be teaming up here. I guess Typhoon will be a single star, or he'll just be affiliated with Earthquake in another capacity. Actually, no. Let me go ahead and yeah, let's give Earthquake something to do anyway, since he's going to be part of the Dungeon of Doom, a sub team of the Dungeon of Doom. What was I doing? Sub team of the Dungeon of Doom is going to be the Natural Disasters. If you remember Typhoon, He was the Shockmaster, and his debut in WCW was a natural disaster, just naturally. All right, so team name, of course they got to, the Natural Disasters. There you go. They're gonna be booed, and part of the Natural Disasters, we're gonna have Earthquake. His tag team partner is the Home Skillet, Typhoid. Nah, just kidding. Typhoon. All right, tag, and they're gonna get booed. All right, then next up, adding to Universe Mode tag teams, going in order, or trying to go in order. I usually do William Regal and Fit Finlay as the Blue Bloods, even though Fit Finlay wasn't really a Blue Blood or part of the Blue Bloods in real life WCW, so I'm gonna skip that for now. But I am gonna make 3 count, baby. Leader Evan Courageous. He's gonna be side by side with Shannon Moore, and then topping out the trio, we're gonna have Sugar, Shane Helms, and we've got 3 count back together again. They're a tag team. Moore and Helms are the tag team. Evan Courageous is the leader. They're gonna get booed. They're everyone's favorite boy band. They're my favorite boy band, BTW, not BTS. I said BTW. So 3 count. They are back in business. Gonna sell some #1 records, possibly. And then who else can we add? If I'm missing someone, if you're watching me go through this list and you see any teams that are noticeable and you know that I'm missing them, let me know. Drop them in the comment box below, because I don't think I'm missing anyone, but yeah, you never know. Yeah, just let me know if I did miss anyone, so that way I can correct it later on. Lance Storm and Mike Awesome, I'm gonna team them up. They were a team in World Championship Wrestling. They were even part of the Team Canada, even though Mike Awesome is not from Canada, I don't believe, for reals. They're gonna get booed. So mostly heel tag teams is who I've got here. I'm just gonna call them Team Canada. Or actually, no. So I don't want to do the whole Canada thing. Mike Awesome is not even Canadian, or wasn't Canadian. Rest in peace, Mike Awesome, my favorite big man. I'm just gonna call them the Awesome Storm. Makes sense, right? Their 2 last names, Awesome Storm. All right, they're gonna get booed. They're a tag team. Who else can we add? Just going in order from Custom, Superstars, not Garza, Kendall Windham. Not right now. I could do Mark Jindrak and Sean O'Hare. They were a tag team in WCW first, in the Natural Born Thrillers, well, before the Natural Born Thrillers, and then it became Palumbo and O'Hare, and Mark Jindrak ended up teaming with Sean Stasiak. But I think I'm not gonna put Jindrak and O'Hare together for right now. I also put Raven and Saturn together. I think I'm gonna skip that. The Road Warriors, obvious tag team right here. Let's go ahead and put them together. I saw in one of my 2K24 videos, I saw a comment, how come the Road Warriors weren't showing up in the tag team division? They're gonna get cheered. That was my bad. I don't know how that happened or why that happened, but yes, Road Warriors are definitely gonna be together here in my 2K25 Universe Mode. Road Warrior Hawk, Road Warrior Animal. All right, so they're back in action. Road Warriors, would love to have a fantasy warfare match between Road Warriors and Chronic, Brian Adams and Brian Clark. That would be a hard-hitting matchup. All right, then just off the top of my head, because I always love putting them together, I'm gonna put Lex Luger and Sting together. Where are you, Luger? Flexi Lexi. Lex Luger the narcissist. Talking like Dusty Rhodes, but anyway, Sting and Luger, putting them back together. They're a face tag team. Tag and tag. And we're just gonna call them simply Sting and Luger. Alright. And then I also saw next to the Road Warriors, we had the Rock and Roll Express, the Rock and Rollers. So that is Ricky Morton, not Ricky Martin, but Ricky Morton. All right, he's teaming up with his home skillet of many years, Robert Gibson. They're gonna get cheered. Team announce is gonna be the Rock and Roll Express. Rockers rip off. No, just kidding. They came way before the Rockers, I believe. So the Rock and Sock Connection. No, just kidding. Rock and Roll Express. Not to be confused with the Lex Express for sure. Bro, I call them the Rockers. I'm tripping. Where's the Rock and Roll Express? I was doing way too much. Rock and Sock? Yo, they don't have Rock and Roll Express? How could you not? The Rockers, the Retribution, Rhythm and Blues, Road Wars, Rock and Sock, Rockers. They don't have Rock and Roll Express. How could that be? That is crazy. Craziness. Pure Fusion Collective. Anyway, tag team. And then who else can we add? What other tag teams did you guys see? Call it out like Dora the Explorer. A clue! Or no, my bad. That's Blue's Clues. Say a clue, a clue. Or this guy or that guy. I could do Buff Bagwell and Scott Norton. I could even do Buff Bagwell and Lex Luger. I could do Vicious and Delicious or the what were they called? Totally Buff. But no, I'm not gonna do that. Steve Williams, no tag team partner. DiBiase, I usually put him with Mike Rotunda or Winner Shyster, but I don't have him yet. And then Vincent, he's gonna just be part of the NWO somehow. I could put Vampiro and Raven together, the Deadpool. They were together in WCW. And then I usually put Psychosis and Hoovy together, but I think I'm gonna skip on that for now. So yeah, I just think for now this is my tag team division in 2K25. Let's start off from the beginning. So first off, we've got Awesome Storm, which is Lance Storm and Mike Awesome. Then we've got the Boogie Knights, Alex Wright, Disco Inferno, DDP and Chris Canyon. And we'll skip over them. The Dungeon of Doom. So we've got Kevin Sullivan, the Giant One-Man Gang, Earthquake or Shark, John Tenta, and Hugh Morris. The Filthy Animals, Billy Kidman, Rey Mysterio, Conan, Eddie Guerrero, and Tori Wilson. And we've got the Four Horsemen, Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and Barry Windham. Harlem Heat, Booker T and Stevie Ray. The Hart Foundation, which is Hitman, Jim Neidhart, and the British Bulldog. We've got the Head Shrinkers, Fatu and Samu, Chronic, Brian Adams and Brian Clark. Los Guerreros, Eddie and Chavo Guerrero. The Midnight Express, Eaton and Lane. The Nasty Boys, Brian Knobs, Jerry Sags. The Natural Disasters, New World Order, baby. Hall, Nash, Hogan, Six Pac, and Eric Bischoff. The Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal. The Rock and Roll Express, Morton and Gibson. The Steiner Brothers, Rick and Scott, Sting and Luga. The Triple Threat, Bam Bam Bigelow, Chris Candido, and Shane Douglas. And last but certainly not least, my favorite boy band of all time, 3 Count. So a pretty stacked tag team or stable division here in 2K25. How many teams we got here going so far? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 teams in total. With the Dudley Boys, it would be 22. But again, I don't know if I'm going to use them in the universe mode, but we'll figure that out soon. So 21 for now. 21. And then I still have a little bit of space left to add more people. So that could mean more tag teams or more stables. So stay tuned for that. We're drawing closer to playing an event in universe mode. I think the first event's going to be Nitro, or I might just do the pay-per-view Slamboree. We'll see, but we're drawing closer to it. Got the giveaway going on right now. Make sure you watch the video before this video to find out how you can participate and win a copy of 2K25 courtesy of me, because I want you to create your own WCW universe mode in 2K25. All right, well, that's it for now. I'm going to be back with another update very soon. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I will see you next time.